So, let's start on our backs. Seems like a nice way on a Tuesday. And as we start on the floor, you can lie down and just walk your feet a little wider and let your knees touch. You can rest your hands on your belly and just begin to breathe a little bit deeper into the bottom of your belly. Relax your jaw. Relax your tongue to the bottom of your mouth. And just notice if you can expand your breath into your rib cage. Expand your breath into your chest. And expand your breath all the way from your belly to the top of your heart. And just take your time to hug your knees into your chest and just to rock a little side to side. And take your hands to the top of your knees and push your knees away from you, out wide, and back to the center, creating these circular movements at your own pace. And gently just switch the direction. As you come back to the center, place your feet on the floor. Take your right leg and bring it over your left leg like the number 4 shape. And you can lift your left foot off the ground and interlace your fingers behind your left thigh or shin if you like. And just gently pressing your right elbow into your right thigh. Breathing into your belly, into your ribs. Slowly releasing your left foot to the floor. Reach your right leg up to the sky and interlace your fingers behind your right thigh. And just point and flex your foot a few times and rotate your right ankle in one direction. And then rotate your ankle in the opposite direction. Then reaching your toes up to the ceiling and then flaring your toes out as if you're kind of like in a high heel shoe. Start to stretch your left leg on the floor if that feels comfortable for your back. Beautiful. Extending both your legs. And imagine your inner thighs rotating towards each other. Breathe into the belly, into the ribs. And gently bend your right knee. And you can take your hands like around your shin and just kind of pull your knee as close to your body as it can possibly go. You can even bring it a little bit wider. Think of like wide towards your armpit. Then taking the right knee towards a twist, reach it across the body to the left side. And you can always put like a block or a blanket underneath your right knee if it feels a little unsupported. And extend your right arm out to the side so your arms are out like a T and you're in this reclined twist. If there's any pain in your back, you can always bring your knees together instead of having the left leg straight. We're going to move a little bit with our breath. Take your right arm and bring it all the way over to your left arm. So you just kind of like fold yourself into fetal position, basically. And then you'll open your right arm back up and reach it across and over back into that twist. So we'll do that 2 more times. Reach the arms together and fold in. Then open the arms out and open your chest. And last one, reach together and fold in. Then open out. Good. Draw your knee back to your chest and keep hugging that right knee back to your center. Stretch the left leg up to the sky and send both legs up to the ceiling. And just flex your feet, finding that extension through both your legs. Bend both your knees. Place your feet on the ground. Step your left foot over your right thigh into the number 4 shape. You can stay here or lift your right foot off the ground and interlace your fingers behind your right thigh or around your shin. Feel free to explore a little pulsing the knee back and forth or side to side, using your left elbow to open up your left hip. And gently bringing your right foot to the ground, start to hug your left knee towards your chest and straighten your left leg, reaching your heel up to the sky. You can interlace your fingers behind your left thigh and point and flex your left foot. Then rotate your left foot and switch the direction. Then start to reach your toes up to the ceiling, but try to fan your toes out. And if you can, straighten your bottom leg if you haven't done so already. And just flex your right foot. Try to imagine your inner thighs drawing towards each other, creating space in the back of your knees, finding length here. Then bending your left knee, start to reach for your shin and just pull your knee as close to your body as you can. You can even pull it a little wider towards your armpit. Then take that left knee and reach it across the body towards the right side. And you might support it with a block, or you might just let it hang or even touch the floor and reach your arms out wide like a T. Try to bring them in line with your shoulders in a row, or if there is any uncomfortable feeling in your back, you can always bring both your legs together instead of keeping the bottom leg straight. Start to take your left arm all the way over to your right arm. So you basically fold into fetal position. Then reach your left arm all the way open and out to the side, opening your chest to the twist. Hands come back together and you fold in, open, and reach out for the twist. Last one, fold in, then open and reach out for the twist. Start to lift your left knee back to the center. Hug both knees to the chest and start to straighten both your legs up to the sky. Relax your arms by your sides. Just soften the knees just a little bit. Just giving your legs a little moment to relax. And hug your knees to your chest. Lift your head and shoulders off the ground. Hold the back of your thighs and start to roll yourself up and down like a ball. And let's come all the way up and come into our hands and our knees. You can always put a blanket under your knees if you need a little extra cushion. Blocks near the top of your mat. Let's step our right foot back once we come into tabletop position and just pulse back and forth through that right heel. Lifting the right foot off the ground, try not to lift it any higher than your hip and try not to create like a back bend, like a cow pose. Draw your ribs in. Draw your knee in towards your nose. Open your knee out to the side. Lift your knee back behind you and start to create these circles. Try 3 more in this direction. Try not to bend your elbows. If the circle needs to become smaller, then it becomes smaller. We're isolating the movement at our hip joint. Try to switch the direction. Breathe as you move. Try 4 circles in this opposite direction. And remember, wider doesn't mean better if that means you're shifting your whole body to get more space. Then gently release the leg and swish the hips a little side to side. Stepping your left foot back, pulse back and forth through your left heel. So when we think of lifting our leg, we still want to integrate the core. Draw your bottom ribs in, your belly up a little, then see how much you can lift your leg without creating a back bend. Draw your knee to your nose. Open your left knee out to the left, behind you into the center, and create 3 more circles. Trying your best not to shift too much to the right side, bend your elbows. The circles should come smaller if you're compensating. Switch the direction that you started with. Back out and in. 4 times on that side. Keep breathing. And when you're done, release your knees and just swish the seat a little side to side. Take the knees wider. Press your seat towards your heels and walk your arms ahead of you for child's pose. So you can stay here, or you can turn your palms up to face the ceiling, and maybe even bend your elbows so your fingertips just kind of graze the back of your shoulders. Feel your heart melting. Breathe into your belly and into your ribs. Slowly release your arms. Now interlace your fingers together. Lift yourself up to your forearms. Bring your elbows under your shoulders. Step your right leg back behind you. Then step your left leg back behind you. Reach your chest forward. And you can always scale this down to the knees if you prefer, but try to keep your ribs up. The back of the knees lifted if the knees are off the ground. Push into the forearms. Keep breathing. 1 more breath. Slowly with control, drop your seat to the floor. Untuck your toes. Walk the elbows a little bit forward and let go of your hands. Spread the fingers. In Sphinx pose, look over your right shoulder. Then look over your left shoulder. Coming back to the center, you always have an option to stay in neutral here, or we can try a little stretch in our quad and our hamstring. Take your left hand across your body towards the right and bend your right knee. Reach your right hand back for your right foot. And if you have the foot, push the foot down into the glute. But at the same time, try to imagine the quad pushing down into the floor. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Now, a little opposite of that, start to push your foot into your hand and see if you can actually lift the knee just like a millimeter, an inch off the ground. And slowly, when we let go, we don't let it fall. We let it go with control. Let's create a pillow for our head for a moment, just to give our backs a break. And wiggle the seat a little side to side, or bend the knees and swish the legs a little side to side. Then let your legs go. Climb back up to your forearms, your elbows. 1 time again, let's look over the right shoulder and then look over our left shoulder. As we come back to the center, take your right hand across the body to the left Bend your left knee. Reach your left hand for your left foot and reach the heel towards the glute. And you can also do this without using the hand. Definitely will actually be more work probably. Push your quad into the floor. Push your heel towards your glute. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Now push the foot away from you. Feel the stretch in the shoulder and the thigh. Maybe you lift the knee just an inch off the ground. And when you let go, we don't let it fall. We control the body as we come back down all the way to our heads. Swish the legs a little side to side. Just releasing our back a little more. Slide your right knee off to the side, off your mat, kind of like you're doing tree pose without touching the thigh. And just look to the right side of your space. So you're resting your head or your left cheek on your arms. Breathe into the belly, into the ribs. Slide your right leg back behind you and move your left knee out to the left side and look to the left. And just heavy the body for a moment. And then slide your leg back behind you, forehead back to the center. Bring your hands all the way by your chest. Lift yourself up and press back to child's pose. Maybe we bring our hands all the way back to our feet for a moment, into this little rock shape, rounding the spine, breathing into the belly and into the ribs. Reach your arms to the front of your mat again. Lift up to your knees, tuck your toes, and come up to downward dog. In your downward dog, start to pedal out through your feet like you're walking in place. Move your head a little yes, a little no. Open and close the jaw a few times. Breathe in, reach your right leg up to the sky. Bend your right knee and stack your right hip over your left. Take your right foot to the outside of your right hand. Help it forward if you need to. And peel that right arm up to the sky. Remember, you can always put a block under your left hand if you need some more space to turn. And release your hand down to the ground and lower your left knee to the floor or blanket. Point your right toes slightly out to the right so they're kind of angled, and just start to roll to the outer edge of your right foot, coming back and forth, back and forth. The movement doesn't have to be big. And then just a little assistance with your hand. Use your right hand to press your right thigh away, and maybe you open your chest to the right side and lean your heart back just a little bit. Excellent. Bring your hands back down. Point your toes to the front. Switch your foot and your hand so your arms come around your leg. This is a place where I like to use blocks because I always find it a little harder to reach the ground, but I'll lift my back knee up and we'll lengthen both our legs, bowing our head down, then bending our front knee, shining our heart forward, lengthening the leg, bowing the head down, bending your front knee, shining your heart forward. One more, lengthen and bend. Remove your blocks. Step back to down dog. Inhale, plank position like a push-up. Exhale, lower to the belly. Ground your feet and your thighs. Lift your heart up for cobra. Exhale, release. Back into your downward facing dog. Send your left leg up to the sky. Bend your left knee and stack your hip. Step your foot forward towards the outside of your hand. Peel and lift your left arm up for a twist. Support your right hand if you need with a block to get more space. As you release your hand down, lower your right knee. Point your left toes a little bit out to the left. Roll to the outer edge of your left foot and pulse back to the center. So just move out and in a few times at your own pace. Then as you come back to the center, take your left hand and push your left thigh away. Open your chest to the left, lean your heart back. Slowly releasing, pointing the toes forward. Switch your hand and your foot, so your foot's in between your arms. Use blocks if you need. Lift up your back knee and start to lengthen both your legs. Let your head release. Bend your front knee. Reach your chest forward. Lengthen your legs. Bow your head down. One more. Bend your knee. Your chest reaches forward. Lengthen your legs. Bow the head down. Bend your front knee. Move the blocks. Step back. Downward facing dog. Inhale, plank pose. Exhale, lower down. Breathe in, lift your chest up. Good. This time, come down slowly to the belly. Slide your left arm to the front of your mat and roll over towards the left side of your body. So you're on the side. And I'm going to walk you guys through this, but think of like a clamshell shape with your legs. Bend your left elbow so you support your head with your hand, just kind of like you're lying down, maybe watching TV. I don't know if anyone watches TV this way. And then bend your knees. So your legs basically come at like a 90-degree angle. You have your hips, your knees pointing out, and then your feet in line with your knees. So this next part, I think, is more mentally tricky than visually tricky. But see if you can open your right knee up to the ceiling, like imagine the clamshell opening up, but lift your feet off the ground to help you create like that Baddha Konasana legs. And then bring your knees back together and down. And one thing that I want you to notice, if you're trying to lift all parts of your legs, right? The left thigh stays on the ground and it's just the heels that lift, the shins that lift, and the right knee that's opening. So let's lift that knee up and open. Good. And then exhale, come down. And you might notice I'm using my right hand just to support myself, right? So I don't like fall over, but you can do anything you want with that right hand on your hip, on the floor. So open the right knee and bring it down. So we're going to try to do 7 more, okay? 10 on each side. Lift up and release. Lift up and release. Lift up and release. Lift up and release. 4 more. Lift up and release. Lift up and release. Lift up and release. And last one, breathe in and let it go. Excellent. Straighten the legs, fold down onto your belly, and we'll do that on the other side. So reach your right arm to the front of the room and then roll over onto the right side of your body. And then support your right hand under your head. Bend your knees. So your knees are in line with your hips and you're really creating basically that 90-degree angle with your feet, knee, and hips. Now that we kind of know where we're going, Right thigh stays on the floor. We're going for the number 10. So open the left knee and lift the feet, and exhale, release. 2, lift up, let go. 3, lift up, let go. 4, lift up, let go. 5, let go. 6, let go. 7, let go. 8, let go. 9, let go. Last one, 10, breathe in and let it go. Excellent job. Come back to the belly. Create a little pillow. Wiggle your seat a little side to side. Take your hands under your chest. Lift up and back to down dog. You can come to hands and knees first if you like. And then walk yourself all the way to the top of your mat. When you arrive at the top, look up, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Sweep your arms up to the sky, breathing in. Good. Fold back down to the ground. Step your right leg back behind you. Lunge. Left leg back to down dog. Plank pose, breathing in. Exhale, halfway or to the belly. Lift your chest, cobra or up dog. Downward facing dog. Reach your right leg up high. Step your foot between your hands. Drop your back knee down and take the arms up to the sky, Anjaneyasana. Take your hands to the floor. Step to the front. Look up halfway and fold down. Sweep your arms up to the sky. Urdhva Hastasana. Forward fold. Uttanasana. Step your left foot back, lunge. Right foot back, down dog. Plank pose. Breathing in. Exhale to lower. Inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, down dog. Your left leg comes high. Step your foot forward. Lower your right knee and take your arms up. Anjaneyasana. Take the hands down. Step to the front. Look up halfway. Exhale, fold. Send your arms up to the sky, breathing in. And fold back down. Your right leg steps back. Your left leg comes back to down dog. Plank pose, breathing in. Exhale to lower. Inhale to lift your chest. Downward facing dog. Pause here and breathe. Inhale through the nose. Maybe a nice sigh out. Bring your toes to touch. Bend your knees. Look to the front of the mat. Jump, step, or walk forward. Look up halfway. Exhale, hold. Send your arms up high. And fold back down. Take your left leg back, lunge. Right leg, down dog. Plank pose, breathing in. Exhale to lower. Inhale to lift your chest. Downward facing dog, exhale. Send your left leg up high. I lied, let it go. Take a deep breath in. And just sigh out. Relax your head. Press into your hands and keep lifting your thighs. Start to bend your knees. Look towards the front of your mat. Jump, step, or walk up. Look up halfway. Exhale and fold. Send your arms up high over your head. Fold back down. Bend your knees, plant your palms, either jump, step, or walk back to down dog. And you can move through the flow or you can skip it, your choice. Very good. When you're ready, reach your right leg up to the sky. Step your foot between your hands. Come up to warrior two. Drop your back foot down and open your arms out to the side. Straighten your legs. Lift your arms. Hook your thumbs above your head and try to open your chest towards the left. Bend your right knee. Lean away from your right thigh. Create space. Lean your right elbow and your right forearm to your thigh like a shelf. And just keep sending that left arm over the head. Feel free to wrap your left hand behind your back if you like, towards a half bind, opening up your chest. Very good. Look forward. Reach your right arm to the front and dip back behind you. Peaceful warrior. Start to straighten your right leg. So both your legs are straight. Reach your left arm down and your right arm up and start to reach your right arm to the front of the room. Bring your right hand down to your shin and your left arm up to the sky for triangle pose. And if you ever feel stuck in that shoulder, bring your left hand to your hip so you can open your chest a little bit more. And then maybe you keep lifting up through that left arm. Lean your head, your heart back just a tiny bit. Looking at the ground, release your hands to the floor. Step back, downward dog. So you can move through the flow here, or you can skip it. You can rest in child's pose. You can breathe in down dog. Very good. When you're ready, reach your left leg up to the sky. Step your foot forward between your hands. Arrive at warrior two. Open your arms out wide. Inhale, straighten the legs. Lift your arms. Hook your thumbs above your head and just open your chest towards the right. Bend your left knee. Lean away from your left thigh. Then bring your left forearm and elbow towards your left thigh and send your right arm over your head for extended side angle. You can stay here. You can wrap your right hand behind your back and just open up your chest. Breathe across the body. Look forward. Reach your left arm to the front. Dip back behind you. Peaceful warrior. Straighten your legs. Reach both your arms out long. Send your left arm forward, down to your shin as your right arm reaches up to the sky. Imagine you're leaning into something comforting. Lean your heart back. Keep opening up your chest. Breathe into your whole body. Look at the floor. Release your hands. Step back. Downward facing dog. Move through the flow or skip the flow, your choice. Right? Take your time. Modify anytime that you need to. So we'll build on what we already did. Reach your right leg up. Step the foot forward. A little different here. Drop your back knee and sweep your arms up to the sky. Anjaneyasana. Take your hands down. Come up to warrior two. Put the foot to the floor. Straighten the legs. Lift the arms. Bend your knee. Warrior two. Lean back. Peaceful warrior. Take your right forearm to your thigh. Left arm over your head. Wrap your left hand behind your back. If you would like to go a little deeper, reach your right hand towards the floor. You can always put a block under your hand. If you find that you're trying to straighten your leg to reach the ground, Try to put a block under your hand to give yourself more height. Good. Let's lift up and back, peaceful warrior. Straighten the legs, open the arms, and reach your right arm for triangle pose. Excellent. Take the left arm over the head, feel the side bend. Start to fold your left arm down towards your leg so you kind of melt a little. And then open your left arm back up. One more time, pull down, melt, and open your arm back up. This time, take the arm down and sweep your whole body to the center of your mat. You can reach for the ground, you can reach for your legs, whatever you can hold. Feel free to bend the knees and rock a little side to side. Then bringing your feet just a little closer, start to bend your knees as if you're in a squat pose, standing squat, and walk your hands out. And if it's hard to reach the ground, right, use a block or two, put it under your hands. So think squat lower body and downward dog upper body. And let's just try our best to stay here for 3 breaths. Then lift the seat, toes and heels out, hands under the shoulders. Walk back towards your right foot. Take your blocks if you did use them. And we'll come into Ardha Chandrasana. So you'll walk your hands forward, lift up your back foot, use a block under that right hand if you need, and open your left arm up to the sky or to your hip, whatever feels more stable to you. Very good. Now, can we just take a nice big step back to a lunge with the hands on the floor and the foot behind us? Downward facing dog. Moving through the flow or skipping the flow. Very good. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. When you're ready, reach your left leg up to the sky. Step your foot forward, lower your right knee, and take your arms up. Anjaneyasana. Take the hands down. Warrior 2, bring the back foot down. Rise to stand. Open the arms. Inhale, straighten the legs and lift your arms. Come back to warrior 2. Lean back, peaceful warrior. Lay your left forearm to your thigh for extended side angle. And you have some options here. Wrapping the right hand behind your back and reaching your left hand to the ground or a block underneath your shoulder, opening up your chest. Trying to keep the seat low, but engaging the thighs. Rise up and back, peaceful warrior. Straighten the legs, open the arms, triangle pose. As we lift the right arm up, we'll stretch the right arm over the head, fold down, tap the hands, and open back up. Good. Fold down, let it go, and open back up. This time, fold down and turn the whole body to the middle of the mat. Remember to take your blocks if you need. Let the head drop. Feel free to bend the knees from one side to the other if you like. And we'll take a slightly shorter stance and bend the knees as if you're kind of like in a sumo squat position, but then walk your hands or blocks under your hands away from you. So you have more like a wide downward dog upper body and squat lower body. Breathe in, breathe out. One more breath. Slowly lift your seat, walk your hands or your blocks under you. So we'll walk back to a low lunge towards the top of the mat, shifting forward into Ardha Chandrasana. Lift up your back foot, reach your hands or your blocks in front of you. Try to open your chest. Maybe your right hand comes to your hip. Maybe your right arm lifts up to the sky. Yes, very nice. Keep breathing. And let's take a big, big step back to a low lunge. So we look at the floor, we face the ground, and we step our foot back. Excellent. Downward facing dog. Move through the flow or skip it. Good. When you're ready, reach your right leg up to the sky. Step your foot forward between your hands. Step your left foot down to the floor so your heel gets on the ground. Grab your blocks if you have them, place them under your shoulders, and start to straighten your front leg. Reach your belly and your heart forward. Take your right hand to your hip and start to twist to the right side, opening the chest, and maybe the right arm reaches up to the ceiling in your revolved triangle pose. Lean your heart back a little bit. Keep turning from the center of your rib cage. Release your hand down. Spin up to the toes of your left foot and lower your left knee down. So we'll come into pigeon pose. Bring the right leg across the body so the shin can come to the floor. And you can scooch the left knee back as far as you'd like. And you know your options are to place any support under your seat if you need it. And you can lower down towards your forearms. And if you'd like, a block under the head or in their chest or both, or just let yourself hang. Try your best to bring the weight into the lower body. Try not to hold it all in the upper body. Start to walk up to your hands. So if you did have something under your right side, I would move it. You may or may not need it, but I find most of the time it makes things a little harder to move first. So I'm leaning onto the right seat and I'm not bringing the leg forward over the thigh, but I'm bringing the left knee to a position where I'm creating like a 90 degree angle with both my legs. Then you'll twist towards your right thigh. Lift your belly and your chest. And you can stay here or you can go down a little bit more to the ground or even blocks under the elbows. And, think of this as getting further into your ribs and your belly for the twist. So pressing into your left forearm to turn your chest and your belly towards the right. You can relax your head if you want. And then slowly walk up to the hands, face forward again, and just kind of shifting back to the pigeon pose. You'll lean forward onto your hands, take yourself back slowly. Yeah, downward dog. Don't worry, it's not like the smoothest transition. Reach your left leg up when you're ready and step that left foot forward. between your hands. Step your right heel down to the floor. So you might have to go a little shorter, and make sure you are not on a tightrope, right? Look at your feet. If they're crossing, if they're in the same plane, move the left foot a little bit wider. So you have more space to kind of even test. Can you turn your seat and your hips a little side to side, right? We want that space to turn for the twist. Walk up to your blocks if you have them. If not, you're just going to do your best on your fingertips. Lift your belly, lift your chest. Imagine your thighs pressing backwards and your heart reaching forward. Reach your left hand to your hip. Start to turn your chest towards the left and reach that left arm up to the sky, opening up your chest for your revolved triangle pose, Parivrita Trikonasana. Release your hand down, bend your knee, slide your right leg back for more space, and drop your right knee to the floor. Bringing yourself to pigeon pose, move the left foot across the body to slide the left shin down and adjust your back knee behind you to a place where you feel comfortable to hold. Remember, you can support your seat if you like. When you lower down to your forearms, you may or may not put something under your chest. Just try to find a place where you can be here for the next 5 to 10 breaths. Start to breathe a little deeper. Walk up towards your hands. If you had something underneath you, I would probably move it out to the side. And remember when you're shifting your legs, you're bringing your back leg in. So you create like this 90 degree with your knees facing towards the left. Turn your chest and your body towards the left side. And you can stay here or you can walk a little lower. And when you bring your elbows down, you can also think of twisting at the same time. So you're not on this even plane. You're trying to press into your forearms, especially that right arm, and turn the belly and the chest towards the left. Slowly walk up to your hands. This time, bring the back leg forward and rock the shape a little side to side. Very good. So we're going to come into a shape called fire log pose. In this shape, I do recommend sitting on like the edge of a blanket or something that you can sit on. The other thing too, even though I have blocks, I'm going to show you, if you just have some like house pillows, hotel pillows, whatever, I just want to show you some options. You might not need everything, but I know for me, I'm not very open externally with my hips. So this pose is always challenging for me no matter what, which makes me a good demo because I use all the props. Okay. So in this scenario, I could use blocks or pillows, but I'm going to use whatever pillows or blankets I have just to show you what you can use. So as I step my right foot over my thigh, first of all, you can stay here. You don't have to go further. You can put more support under that leg so you don't feel like it's just there with gravity. You feel a little bit more support. But the next step, if you want to go further, is to bend the left knee and open the left knee out to the side and literally like stack your shins. Now you might notice my right knee is lifting up pretty high, right? So what are things that I can do? I'm just gonna be real. If your knee is like up this high, you need to keep the bottom leg straight. No amount of props is gonna like make you feel better in this pose. You can try it, but just be honest with how you feel today. But if you're kind of like somewhere in between, things that I like to do is take a pillow or a block under the lower leg. And then if I still need to, put something in between both the legs. And in all honesty, blocks are great, but I do like using something softer in this shape because it just allows me to melt a little. And sometimes the blocks kind of like push into the legs in a way that doesn't feel amazing. But everyone's different. So try it out. And if you need to keep the bottom leg straight, that's fine. Take your hands to your hips when you feel ready. And just think about like thumbs pushing down to your hip flexors. And you can stay here. My barometer is like out of a scale of 0 to 10. If you're at an 8, you probably don't need to go more. But if you're at like a 5 or 6 or 7 or lower, you might lean forward. And you might take your hands in front of you. And if your bottom leg straight, you can reach for the bottom leg. If both legs are folded, you can touch the floor or you can reach for your blocks. And feel free to melt as much as you need. And I always say this, right? The shape is like, for some people, this is fire. You don't want to stay here. It's difficult. And other people feel nothing. And it's just relaxing and nice. So just be aware of where you are on that scale and just be okay with it. And slowly walk yourself up. You can help your legs out and rock a little side to side. Thumbs up if you're alive and okay. Good. All right. So we'll start with the right leg long, and the left knee bent out to the side. So remember, you can use that block or pillow underneath one of your legs. And if you're going for the double leg, when you bend your knees, don't be afraid to maneuver your seat and use your hands to maneuver your legs so things are really stacking. And remember, you can slide support under the bottom leg. You might slide support between the legs. See how you feel. And it's okay if it doesn't perfectly stack or perfectly touch. Just think of releasing down. You can take your hands to your hips, thumbs in your hip creases, and just kind of encourage the seat to push down. Breathe in and lift your chest. Stay here or lean forward. You can take your hands out in front of you. You can reach the ground. You can reach the blocks. Just bow your head. Slowly rise up. Help your legs out. Rock a little side to side. Stretch your legs out in front of you. Reach your arms up and fold yourself down. Slowly rise up. Remove anything that's in your way out of your way. You can always hold a pillow for Savasana under your legs. So as you come down to the ground, maybe a blanket under the head, shoulders on the floor, hug your knees to your chest, and rock a little side to side. Look to the right side and look to the left side. Bring your feet down. So you can just relax for a moment, or you can take one bridge pose if you feel like you need a little bit of a counter to everything that we've done. Pushing the feet to the ground, lifting the seat, rolling the shoulders under the back, engaging the glutes, interlacing the fingers or opening the palms up to face the ceiling, feeling the back of your heart lifting, and then slowly letting go. Walking the feet a little wider, knees to touch, arms by the sides. Swiveling the legs from one side to the other. Letting the knees fall to the left, head to the right. And letting the knees fall to the right, head to the left. Hugging your knees to your heart. Happy baby. And then gently letting yourself go. And remember, you can always put a pillow under your legs. Relax your arms. Open the chest. Just notice how much you can just let the body go. Soften the space between your eyebrows. Soften your jaw. Relax your tongue. Breathe a little bit deeper into your belly, into your ribs. And then just let the breath flow naturally. And just soften the space between your fingers, heavying your palms, and the soles of your feet. And deepen your breath. And just start to make some small movements with your fingers and your toes. Rock your head a little side to side. And just start to stretch your arms over your head for morning yawn. Breathe in, sigh out, bend your knees, roll over to any comfortable side. And use your hands to gently rise up. Your hands to our heart center. We'll join each other for one sound of Om. Breathing in. Om. Light within me, vast light within all of you. Namaste.